Welcome to another edition of the Bones of Advertising. I'm Craig McLeod, and you are?
I'm excited. I'm filled with the spirit of Australia today.
Oh, stop it. I still call Australia home. Is that how you're feeling?
I've got a little bit of Peter Allen.
A bit of Pete.
Just ringing in my ears. I love a bit of Peter.
The energy on stage that man brought. Wow.
And they brought out a beer once called Tinnerfield Sadler, and I can remember getting very
I think you may have mentioned that before on a podcast as well, my boy. It's definitely strong still in your memory, and perhaps the memory isn't as good as the actual experience. Like maybe it might have been better or it might have been worse.
I don't think the Tinnerfield Sadler exists anymore, but I can remember getting very flamboyant.
Why wouldn't you? If you could, why wouldn't you? We love a bit of flamboyance.
Why not? No, the spirit of Australia, the great history of Qantas ads in this country, and let's give the viewers a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Just a very quick quick recap.
Just our quick YouTube summary of the Qantas ads that we've devised. Now, the dates may be wrong, so we're going to put that disclaimer in here. They may not be exactly the years, because who knows whether whoever put them up on YouTube back in the day still had the right dates or has the right dates. So, but I think it'd be great. Let's take a look at one of the...
You have done, can I just say to the viewers at home, my friend Mr. McLeod has done an amazing job. He's like Sherlock McLeod this week.
Sherlock Homer McLeod. I like that.
He has dug into the archives, perhaps a little deeper than most people would go.
Into the bowels of YouTube.
The bowels, the second cellar. So let's play the koala. Let's
just play a little snippet of the koala right now.
Wow.
Teddy bear. I still don't believe it, but you know what I do believe? I hate Qantas.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I think you like this one, don't you? For me, it was just bizarre and awkward.
Yeah. No, I think it was. So it's dated. It's the 60s or the 70s.
I think it's like early, so like maybe mid 60s, 64 or 60.
I hate Qantas. It's like,
I hate Qantas.
Yeah, because it brings a whole lot of people over.
Yeah.
And he has to be patted by the...
He has to be photographed.
And it was like, that's not... They tried to sell all the benefits of Qantas, but you've just got this really cute and cuddly koala just saying, I bloody hate Qantas. Well, if someone as cute as a koala hates Qantas, I'll hate Qantas too. Like,
I reckon you're right. I mean, it really depends on where it was played, because if they were playing it to a market that's all about koalas, and I think he says in one of the ads, the koala, that they call him, I don't know, a cuddly bear or something.
They call him a teddy bear.
A teddy bear. He's not a teddy bear. He's a koala bear. And he's got there's a bit of a Yank accent to that.
Oh, you picked up on that as well, did you?
Yeah, well, I think it's, it's probably your pickup, but when I'm listening to it again, I definitely think that it might be an American trying to put on an Aussie accent, which never goes well.
It was weird. Like, maybe it was one of those ads that was shown like only in the United States, and they didn't know. But I reckon if you were in Australia and you were watching that, you'd be looking at yourself scratching. Just don't know what's going on.
No, exactly. And like, the flying kangaroo, and why have we got a koala? First of all, it's kind of a bit bizarre, but ultimately the whole idea behind it, I don't reckon you ever lead with an ad that says, I hate the brand.
Well, yeah, unless you've got like, I can understand that if it was like Louis the Fly is a great, I hate that brand.
Yeah.
You understand, because you actually hate flies. But I hate that brand, and it's something as cute as cuddly as koala, like one of the great national symbols, one of the symbols that we don't eat.
Yes. We definitely don't eat them, that's for sure. I don't think I've ever seen koala. I mean, I've seen croc, but I've never seen koala on the menu.
Kangaroo on the menu, seen emu on the menu, but never the bloody koala.
Maybe they're a bit gamey. Maybe they're not quite as tasty as we think they, the old croc.
It tastes a bit like
down on a koala. But anyway, what's the next one we want to have a look at?
We're going to look at so just some retail ads. A lovely little campaign getting people to buy into Qantas. We won't show the whole thing because one of the people they chose back in the day was Warren Mitchell, in his character as Alf Garnett from Till Death Us Do Part, And maybe
We're not showing that.
maybe the most racist man in the world. I mean, he was. It was a reaction. The whole show was a reaction against Enoch Powell and racism in the UK. And
Yeah.
but so they did that, and then they did this delightful ad with John Clark as Fred Dagg, the New Zealand farmer, and just a great, just a fantastic little,
Absolutely fantastic. This one.
just a little closing element. We'll just play that here.
Let's just play the end bit of this ad.
Sydney bed you down for 8 days and drop you back. You can't stay behind all your life. You got your togs? Most of me luggage cleared up.
Something in the way we move.
You couldn't do that now, but you can do
You
it.
can't stuff a sheep into a box and send it back to New Zealand, can you?
No, I don't. Think, well, no. He was taking them with him.
Oh, he's taking him with him back to New Zealand, or is he coming to Australia from New Zealand?
Who knows?
Who knows? But ultimately, if he was coming, you can't bring his sheep over with him.
Oh, we got plenty here.
You've got plenty, not in a box anyway. Come on. But it's funny to see him way back when. Like, I mean, when was that? What were we talking then? Was it 83 or something?
Yeah, I know it was before 83, so it would have been before Mojo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, probably early 80s, I reckon. Fred Dagg was kind of big in the late 70s, early 80s.
John Clark, mate, still bloody good today. Like him and that, who's the guy he worked with all of those years later, the two of them, John?
Bruce Dorr.
Bruce Dorr, yeah.
Yeah, just fantastic. Just fantastic.
So good.
Speaking of 1983.
Speaking of 1983, let's have a little peek at this one.
Who was started out small? Who started with a dream that's all it was you? An Australian like you, who looked into the distant skies, saw horizons far and wide, amazing schemes and flying machines, who gave Australia wings. It was you. You became our flying kangaroo, the spirit of Australia shining through. It was you, the spirit of Australia, the flying kangaroo, the spirit of Australia, the flying kangaroo, the spirit of Australia, the flying kangaroo.
There it is. There's the birth of the spirit of Australia right there.
The Roo bouncing along.
Yep.
Just the quintessential connection between the Aussie icon Australia and our brand represents all of that. If you want this is where you've got to go.
Oh, and the whole, like the mindless repetition of the spirit of Australia, the flying kangaroo, the spirit of Australia. Like, do you get it? Do you get it? It's the spirit of Australia. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Just want to make sure it's rammed into you, the spirit of Australia, the flying kangaroo.
But they like that has lasted. Like that's 1983. That's 40, almost 40 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just knocking on the door of 40 years. Yeah.
Which is amazing. Like that's
pretty impressive.
You think of all of the marketing departments that have gone through Qantas, all of the head of marketing that have gone through Qantas, and they've never changed that line.
They've never thought, you know what? We're no longer the spirit of Australia. We're the essence of Australia. Haven't done it. No need to. It's perfect.
And they've updated the logo, but they've never changed from the flying kangaroo. And why would you? Like, it's just...
No, exactly. I mean, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole of what was it, Australian Airlines and Qantas when they merged, Qantas Australian or something it was for a little while, when Qantas and then just Australian underneath it.
Yeah, it's like when you win history. Like I'm in charge now. We'll just take that out and we'll pretend it never happened.
I think at some stage someone just took the eraser and just took that fine line Australian off the bottom and said, whatever. Yeah.
Who? No, we've always been Qantas. Always.
Where to next? We're going to have a look at my great friend Peter Allen and maybe Kate Sarabono or
Sobrano. Kate Sobrano. How good is her voice?
Still today. How good is Katie Sobrano?
Oh, but just a voice of an angel in this.
Can sing.
So this was the ad they did I still call Australia home. We may not be able to run it on YouTube, but we'll put
Yeah,
it.
you would definitely, we won't be able to run it. So we'll just whack a link up for people to be able to click on it and have a look.
But it is just magnificent. Like just
Outstanding.
the idea of getting all of these famous Australian singers from, you know, who are known to have success overseas, like,
Yep.
and they still call Australia home. Like it's just, it reminds, and this song is one of those that just gets you. It's like great
Yeah.
southern land. It's you know, waltzing
Land down under.
Yeah.
You know, we come from a land down. I mean, it's one of those Aussie icon anthems.
Yeah, it makes you feel happy to be Australian.
Yeah,
And that's
it does.
And that's what Qantas is. When you get on a Qantas plane and you hear, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to bloody Qantas flight 4 to Sydney. Like you go, I'm home. Like I may be sitting on a tarmac in bloody Munich or somewhere, but
Yeah,
you know, I'm home. Like
it doesn't matter. I'm on my way home.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Like
Which was a ripper, but then they evolved it from there to what?
Little kids, buddy. Nothing.
Planted on landmarks all around the world.
Just glorious. Like it's just, you know, I can remember when I first saw this, I thought, I think they're just pulling at heartstrings there, and they were unashamedly pulling at heartstrings, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked. I'm surprised. I mean, we'll get to the one that's just recently been released, but I'm surprised that they didn't go with it again for that one.
Yeah, I think they've got a different challenge at this stage. I really love the little Koori boy singing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great celebration of Australia. Like it's Qantas seemed to be at that stage at the forefront of really kind of celebrating all things Australian, as they should.
Yeah.
And it was I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I just think it was a really solid evolution. I think the timing of it was fabulous. And, you know, for our first Aussies, the first Australians, I think it was a ripping version of it. And, you know, I love that we can do those sorts of things to pay homage to our past and, you know, present. I think it's brilliant. I really liked that ad. I thought it was a cracker. And the evolution I thought was great, you know, to go from where we were with the first one to this one. And then, you know, as I said, there may be one in the future, but I think you're right. The one we're going to talk about now is the one that's just been released, which is, it's really more about sending people from Australia to things overseas, to events overseas. You know, you've got the kids to Disneyland. You've got a guy that's going to see someone really special. You've got, you know, a young couple going to a wedding. And it's really just saying that get your jab and we can make all of this happen. And, you know, the engineered version of Tones and I's song, which is amazing and fits so well. Now, I'm a massive rap on her and her music, but I think bringing it into this and sort of connecting it, I mean, she sang at the grand final, the last one we're allowed to have in the G, so not the last one, but the one before. And she's just outstanding.
She is. No, it's a great song.
Yeah.
And it's got
anthem in the making, in my view.
Yeah. And as you say, it's a beautifully engineered. The music works.
Yep.
The stories work. But
love it. Even the bloke when he's bloody expired. I had to get my eldest got her L's, and we looked on the passport. She had like 3 days left when we went to get the L's. This is before lockdown. Yeah. And, you know, like I felt it. Yep. Passports are expired because we haven't needed them.
No, we haven't. But I thought, and this is where we may differ just a little. I thought they should have picked one story and made me fall in love with that person and have me understand, if I get my jab, I can fly.
Do you reckon it was because it's so big though, JD? I'm just looking at the time on it. It's 1:30, so it's a 90, right? So is there potential to cut it into 3:30s that is just the story? So maybe that's the method in their madness.
It is. And it may just be the agency falling in love with their own work. Or it could be.
May have been guilty of that from time to time.
We've all talked about that road a little. But I reckon it is like I could have just got it when I was in the middle of I was feeling a little under pressure and perhaps wasn't in a frame of mind that allowed me to fall in love with the storylines, but I couldn't connect. They didn't give me enough time.
Yeah, right.
To connect with each of the characters, and so it becomes like an ensemble piece, which is great if you've got, you know, half an hour.
I'm going to challenge you to watch it again with a glass of wine with Mrs. D tonight while you're having a little bit of cheese, being the Melbourne supporter that you are, just a hearty cap sav. I just want you to hit play with Mrs. D and say, that is a
I will do that. I'll revisit that and let you know. I am, but I think if they do cut it down, and it allows me to fall in love, to get involved with
each story.
Okay. Yeah. So the couple going to Singapore because they want to go and see their friends get married.
Yep.
I can buy into that. I understand that storyline really well.
Yep.
Going and seeing a mate in London and it's that whole kind of, it's someone who means a lot to me. Like, that's not what you say. You say, oh no, I'm going to see a mate. I haven't seen him in like years. Like, and all of a sudden it's like, I get that.
Yeah.
I may not have a mate in London. Well, I do, but like, may not have a mate in London, but I can absolutely empathize with the fact of, do you know what I mean? Like,
okay. I got you on that point.
The heavy lifting is done by the song, and it should have been done. The equally heavy lifting should have been done by the stories. And I think they had a lovely idea and a lovely, really connective thing, which I love. And I just felt I couldn't wrap my fingers around.
Okay. Well,
I'm being very picky, but it's lockdown and I don't care.
Yeah, you know what? You can be as picky as you like. And it's very, very good for you to actually delve into the ad, because that's the insights I love that you share with our punters out there in the marketplace. But you know what, JD? That's been another edition of the Bones of Advertising. I'll see you next week. Don't go changing.
Oh, mate, take care. Cheers.